This is a Patreon requested video. I recently introduced a new tier over on my Patreon specifically for requesting content, so you'll be seeing a lot more of these. It'll be in addition to my regular content, so that just means more videos per week. If you want to support my channel in a different way, you can give my Patreon a once-over. We have game nights, exclusive content, movie hangouts, and of course, the perk of requesting a video like this one. You can follow the link in the description to find out more. Hey there, creepy peeps. I'm Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. I talk about horror movies, books, all spooky things all year round, so if you end up liking this video, maybe subscribe. So thank you to Catherine for requesting this video. So just as a quick refresher, the film follows Gemma, who has taken custody of her niece Katie after her parents died in a car accident. Gemma is a roboticist for a toy company and is working on an android doll, M3GAN, which she tests out on Katie, but M3GAN takes her job of protecting Katie to dangerous lengths. As much as I try and do some research before I go into a film, I still hesitate. It's a habit I gotta break, but it's hard to break because people on the internet like to spoil things. So I ended up not looking into M3GAN before I went to go see the movie. So as I was watching it the first time in the theater, I spent the majority of the movie being unsure as to whether or not the comedy was on purpose. And then I realized after the fact, the director is Gerard Johnstone, who directed the criminally underrated horror comedy Housebound. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And it's written by Akil Cooper, who wrote Malignant. After realizing that, it was painfully obvious to me, in retrospect, that M3GAN is a horror comedy. To my credit though, nobody else in my theater seemed to know it was a horror comedy either, because during certain funny parts, especially that bulletproof scene, everybody was trying really hard not to laugh. But M3GAN balances the horror and comedy aspects really well, all while doing what horror does best, which is reflecting societal and cultural fears. In this case, it's technology and how it affects children and adults. I think there's an important message, not just this idea that AI taking over parenting is harmful and dangerous, but our reliance upon technology as adults. My day job is all about books, so of course when I was watching M3GAN, I could relate it a little bit to my own experiences when it comes to banning books, which is a hot topic right now. Some of the themes in M3GAN were very similar to when parents try and get books banned, not because they've read them themselves and have found something offensive, but somebody else, most likely on the internet, told them there was offensive stuff in the book. And instead of just having a candid conversation with your child about the topics in the book, should they even pick it up, they just go out and get it banned instead. It's the exact same approach that Gemma takes with Katie initially. It's like, let me kill two birds with one stone. I can test out M3GAN and pitch it at my company, which will be good for my career. And at the same time, I don't have to deal with my niece who experienced an intense trauma and is grieving, and I don't really know how to deal with that. When it comes down to it, it's a really scary movie actually, like what's happening with this, like the AI parenting this child. They put this kind of parody spin almost on it to show how equally ridiculous it is as it is scary, and it's kind of brilliant. The sleek setting adds to the humor and to the horror. Everything is clean and polished, from Gemma's home to her workplace. It feels very sterile, and to have these people be the ones making these toys for children is funny, yes, but it's also terrifying when you think about the fact that they most likely don't have children of their own and maybe don't have children's best interests at heart. Not that you have to have a child to have children's best interests at heart, but you know what I mean. So it's scary to think about these people making toys for children when they don't really care about the effects it's gonna have on a child. And let's be honest, Gemma really doesn't have Katie's best interests at heart till the end. Or she does, but it's severely misguided. The performances really stood out to me, especially with the comedy. We have Ronnie Chieng, hopefully I said this last name right, as Gemma's boss David. He's absolutely hilarious, definitely a scene stealer. That paired with Allison Williams, like really dry humor delivery throughout the movie. It's a nice balance to some of the more like outright funny parts. Plus, we have to talk about Megan herself. Part of the performance was done using like a dummy or like prosthetics and puppetry, but a lot of Megan's performance is actually done physically by a physical actor, Jenna Davis. Because of that choice, they didn't have to rely so much on CGI as heavily, and I feel like that's gonna make this movie hold up for a long time. Overall, I enjoyed Megan. I think they achieved a brilliant balancing act between horror and comedy in every aspect, from the setting to the editing to the performances. Everything is like this perfect balance of scary and funny. And I'm not usually a big fan of killer doll movies. I just don't find them super scary, but the technology aspect makes this scary for me because it's so realistic. I also learned that the DVD release has an unrated cut, which is apparently a whole lot gorier than the PG-13 that was released in theaters. So I'm actually thinking of buying the DVD because I want to watch the unrated version and see how much it differs. A little too early to tell if this is gonna be one of my favorites of the year, but it's solid AF. So of course, let me know what you thought of Megan in the comments, and let me know what you think about the sequel. I was listening to an interview from Akilah Cooper, again, who is the writer on the movie, and she said that pretty much everybody's coming back for the sequel, I believe. Obviously things can change because I don't think the movie is set to come out until 2025, but that's pretty cool. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And if you ended up liking this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, become a creepy peep today, and I will see you soon with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.